Two of my favorite handbags in my entire collection are from the same brand. They're both from Dior. One of them was spontaneous and impulsive. One of them I wanted for over 3 years before I finally purchased it. Which one of the two, the impulsive, beautiful, stunning Lady Dior, or the saddle bag that I've been wanting for over 3 years, is more practical in my personal collection? Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Melissa and I love handbags. A couple of my favorite handbags are definitely my Dior bags. The Lady Dior I bought about 2 years ago. I got it in March, so I believe it's about 2.5 years ago. I could be wrong, it might be 1.5 years ago. Either way, I've had it for quite a while, and I got it in this beautiful shade of green. As I mentioned, this was an impulsive purchase, and I specifically purchased this bag because of this shade of green. I had no intentions of buying a Dior bag, and I had no intentions of spending $6,000 on a bag, but this particular shade of green really stole my heart. Sage green is my favorite color. One of my son's name is actually Sage, his middle name, not his first name, because I do love the color so much. So I had to buy this beautiful sage green bag as soon as I saw it. I saw this color online because I was stalking the Dior website, and when I saw it online, I instantly knew I had to go see it in store. I went with my husband, and before I even got to the Dior store, I saw this in their window, in their big glass window, and I knew instantly that I was going to buy it. There was no way that I wasn't. The color was absolute perfection for me. So now that this spontaneous bag is added to my collection, how do I feel about it now that I've owned it for quite a while? I have to say it's one of my favorite bags in my collection, but even though it's one of my favorite bags, it is one of my least used bags. I've only used this bag 3 times so far this year, but I'm changing that. We still have about 3 months left of the year to go, so I am definitely going to be using this bag for the next couple months, mark my words. So what are some of the things that I love about this bag? We already touched on the color, but I also love the hardware, this beautiful champagne gold. I love that this bag looks like it has charms, but in a very elegant way. It doesn't look young, it doesn't look childish, it doesn't look playful. I love the handles, and I even love the noises that it makes. Listen up. I don't know what it is about that noise, but it is really satisfying to me. The handles look like they're rolled, but they're actually flat on the inside, and that is because it is supposed to be a C and a D for Christian Dior. That's kind of cool, but I really don't care too much about it. As far as the inside, it is a little difficult to get inside of this bag, I will say, because you have this flap here. And if you're like me and you like your everyday jewelry that you never take off, you have the risk of scratching the leather, but I just stick my fingers right in there and then pull it out. As far as the interior, you are going to have a suede interior, which definitely could get stained easily. I do have an organizer for inside of this bag, but I have to say, because it is such a small capacity, I find that I often take the organizer completely out of the bag. As far as what fits inside of this bag, I do have it stuffed right now. I have my sunglasses, I have a compact wallet, I have a key pouch, a card holder, and a small little pouch filled with different knickknacks. My iPhone Pro Max will fit inside of here with all of these items, but that is the bag filled to its max capacity. I will say, with the iPhone inside of here, it does make it slightly difficult to get everything out. So when I typically wear this bag, I will ditch the pouch or the little compact wallet, one or the other, and that way it gives me a little bit more room to play inside of the bag. Another thing that I really love about this bag is that it does have feet that protect the leather. The leather does feel nice and soft and squishy and supple, but it still is a structured bag. Because of that, I do recommend not overstuffing this bag, and also making sure that you have either an organizer or you stuff the bag when you're not using it. I have seen on the pre-loved market where these are kind of squished in, and that is definitely not a vibe or a look that I am going for. The last thing that I want to touch on before we jump into the saddlebag is the strap. It does come with a removable strap. It is slightly adjustable. You got about an inch on either side to play with here on the little ends. It has the little D-rings that say CD on them, and it is a thick, comfortable strap. Now, what I can say about the strap, for me personally, I'm 5'6" and I am a size 10. So this strap doesn't necessarily fit me really comfortably cross-body. I'll share with you guys some mod shots on the side of the screen. You do get to pick 3 charms when you purchase the bag. They are free with the bag. Not free, because obviously this bag is quite pricey, but they come with the bag. I opted for 4, so I did have to pay for my other one because I didn't want my initials and I didn't want to do like a bunch of hearts and stars. I really wanted to keep this bag nice and elegant, and I think I really accomplished that with using the Dior name on the strap. I did a D, an I, a dove, and an R, and I think it came out absolutely beautiful. Now let's jump into the saddlebag and some of the things that I love about this bag. This is the bag that I was referring to when I said that I've been eyeing this bag for well over 3 years now, and I really had a hard time pulling the trigger. One of the things that really got me to pull the trigger was this color. I absolutely fell in love with this lilac color. I've loved this bag for years and tried it on over and over and over again, but the thing that kept me back from purchasing this bag was the capacity and the fact that you do have to Tetris your things inside of this bag. Let me go over a few of the things that I love before we jump into some cons. First of all, the unique shape of the saddlebag is absolutely perfect for me. I think it is so fun, it's so cool, it's so unique. It's one of those bags that if you know what a saddlebag is, there's no way you can miss it. This is the Dior saddlebag, and if you're into luxury, you're going to know that. I love that the newer style comes with a strap, so you will have an adjustable and removable strap. So this one is adjustable. It does connect either on the C or the D depending on where you want it. So keep in mind, if you connect it on the C here, it's going to make it so that the strap stays up. So you can't really push it down when you have this strap connected to the C because it pulls the strap up. The little top handle strap or shoulder strap here is connected to the C's. However, if you connect this to the D's, you can kind of tuck this strap behind the bag when you're wearing it, and it makes it so the strap doesn't dig up into your chest. I tend to do it on the D's, or either on the D or in between the D, and then just wear it as a long shoulder bag. But I will say, if I don't connect it to the C's, then I have a hard time wearing it crossbody because the strap isn't too long. This bag does have the CDs on both sides, as we were just talking about with the adjustable strap and where it connects to. It also has a back pocket, which I really appreciate, especially in a smaller bag like this one. Although it looks like a medium-sized bag, in my personal opinion, it does not fit a lot of things in here. Now, I have seen videos where people magically shove lots of things in here, but I have to tell you guys, when you shove all of your things in there the way that some of these videos do, it's very, very difficult to get your stuff out without everything spilling out and falling everywhere. It does have the little D here, has the magnetic closure here, and then the interior is, of course, that beautiful purple suede lining, and then it has a pocket in the back. So that is the entirety of the Dior saddlebag and everything that I love about it. Before I talk about the cons of the Lady Dior, let's go over what fits inside of this bag. I typically will put my card holder in the back pocket because that is the item that I am reaching for most often when I'm using my bag. If I'm not out shopping, then I will put my phone in the back pocket. However, I do find that the card holder is more comfortable of a fit, and because of that, I prefer to put the card holder rather than a phone, because the phone I feel like will cause damage to the leather over time. On the inside of the bag, I will either put my card holder or my phone, depending on which way I'm choosing to carry it that day, along with my key pouch and my sunglasses. I will put a lipstick, chapstick, and pill bottle inside of here instead of using a pouch. Now, you can definitely use a pouch inside of here instead of having those items loose. However, I find that I'm having to Tetris them too much, and I really don't like that. I have to pull out something in order to get to something, and that is not my lifestyle, that is not something that I enjoy doing. So usually I forego the pouch unless it's really something that I need. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about some negatives of the Lady Dior. Lady Dior can topple over. I don't find that to be the case most of the time for me, but I have heard that in complaints for a lot of people. It's happened to me a couple of times, but not anything drastic. A lot of people complain about the top handles not staying up. Again, when I put my bag down when I'm not using it, that really doesn't bother me, but I also find that mine can stay up, the top handles, if I just simply put it down by letting go of the top handles like that. That allows the top handles. Some people don't like the noise. I really like the noise, as I mentioned earlier. The only con that I can really say about this bag is it is slightly heavy and it's slightly uncomfortable to use. When I wear it crossbody, it's a little bit too structured crossbody, and when I wear it long shoulder, it just fits a little awkward. I don't know what about it that I don't like, but it just fits slightly uncomfortable for me. Top handle is perfect. I love to carry a top handle. That's how I carry it most often. But because I do carry it mostly top handle, I do find that this is very situational, meaning I wear this bag for very specific situations, and I don't wear it quite as often as I would like to. Cons of the saddle bag. This bag too is slightly heavy. It is a little bit uncomfortable if you're wearing it for long periods of time. It does fit over your shoulder, and it does fit comfortably over your shoulder, but I find that it really squishes in my chest, which I don't like. Now that might not be the case if you have a smaller chest, but for me that is the case. I also can feel the bag kind of squishing on itself when I lay my arm down comfortably. So I find that when I wear this on my shoulder, I tend to kind of not be very relaxed. I leave my arm slightly out so it's not squishing the bag, which is not the ideal case. In my day-to-day life, I don't want to be worrying about the bag. I will say it is pretty comfortable long shoulder. That's how I tend to carry it, but it's not very comfortable crossbody for me either. As far as what fits inside, I don't like that I have to Tetris my items, which is why I choose to use fewer items. I find that by using fewer items inside my bag, it makes this bag so much easier to use than stuffing it full. But I'd be lying if I said that that isn't a downfall. I want to be able to put whatever I need inside of my bag, but I knew that going into this bag, I knew that this was going to be one of those bags that was a little bit more difficult to use, which is why I tried it on for 3 years prior to actually purchasing it. One of the other negatives about this bag is the bottom here. So if they would have simply had this bottom flat, you would fit quite a bit more inside of this bag and so much easier. Because this goes up so high, it literally takes up that much space of the bottom of the bag. So it looks like you have quite a bit more space than you actually do. I'm not sure why they chose to put that line there. I get for the aesthetics of it, but it really does take away from the practicality of this bag. If they were to redo this bag, which this is the newer version, they did have the saddle bag many years ago, I believe back in the 90s. I'm probably incorrect, but off of memory, I think it's the 90s. And they didn't do away with this. I wish that they would have, and if they do the saddle bag again, I hope that this will be a smooth bottom, or maybe just a slight little indent. It doesn't need to be as drastic, taking away from the space of the bag. So which one of these bags do I like more? I have to be honest with you guys, they are a tie. I love them both, and I hate to say that, but you really just have to pay attention to your style and what resonates with your style. In the summertime, I do tend to dress a little bit more feminine and girly, which this bag really plays into that, at least the style of the bag. And on the winter and fall time, I tend to dress a little bit more edgy, which this bag, not color-wise, but the shape of this bag falls into that. What I will say is that the price difference between these two bags is drastic. I believe that the Lady Dior right now this is in the ABC size or the size small. I believe this bag right now is retailing for $6,000. I will pop up the correct price on the screen for you guys. And this one is $4,400. So that is a pretty big price difference. Another thing that I will say is, even though I love both of these bags equally, this one is slightly easier to use, but there is one that I plan on purchasing or hope to purchase another one of, and one that I don't. and that is the saddlebag. I would love to own the saddlebag in a neutral color, maybe a beige, maybe a black, or maybe a white. I think that the purple is the perfect color for my wardrobe, but I also would love to add something a little bit more universal that can go with more of my outfits. This could be a little bit more edgy as well. As I mentioned, I do like to dress with a little bit of an edgy style, and I think that a nude or a black or a white would be perfect for that. Although I love my Lady Dior and I have zero intentions of selling it, I also have zero intentions of buying another one. And that is simply because I don't have a very luxurious life. I don't go out very often, and this bag for me is definitely a going out bag, whereas my saddle bag is more of a casual bag. So even though I do love them equally, I find that the saddle bag fits into my lifestyle slightly more, which is why I would love to add another saddle bag to my collection and not necessarily another Lady Dior. And lastly, I will say, even though I do want to add another saddle bag to my collection, I do feel like the Lady Dior is slightly more stylish and slightly more beautiful and elegant. And because of that, I feel like the saddlebag, if you have a more feminine style, not saddlebag, the Lady Dior, I feel like the Lady Dior, if you have a little bit more of a feminine style, would be the perfect bag for you. If you're a little bit more casual and a little bit more edgy like I am, I would definitely say to go with a saddlebag.